and then give me the URL so I could watch it 2 or 3 or 4 times to really let everything sink in, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can do that.
Well,
In
first of all,
fact,
Stephen.
I just hit record. So there we go.
Thank you, Stephen, for taking the time to do this. We really appreciate
Yes.
it. You know,
Yeah, of
we
course.
realize
Yeah.
Really appreciate it, Stephen. We
slot
know
in
you
your
got other
day.
things you need to be doing, so we're gonna make full use of your time.
Yeah. Well, so give me, Phil, give me your what you're looking for. What are you wanting to, what's your ideal situation that you're wanting to do?
Well, basically, I want to basically copycat what you're doing there in Massachusetts. Basically, using Zoom. We're already doing four Zoom meetings a week.
Okay.
Basically, children's Bible studies. Also, our congregation meets on the weekend. We have that on Zoom. But we're just doing. You know, my wife had a stroke, and I've been sort of her home caregiver, you know, and her ultimate brain, you know, to do the cooking and the cleaning and everything, so that she can get back on her feet. And basically, we've used our Manhattan apartment as the studio, so all the Zoom meetings come from the piano.
Okay.
Where she sits, and even though she's had a stroke, she can play the piano, she can preach, she can teach. So
Awesome.
God miraculously spared her what could have been a devastating attack on the brain. You know, when you have a stroke,
Yeah.
it's bad news. You know, you can be drooling and paralyzed and unable to speak, unable to hold anything in your hands. It's just terrible. But God spared her that, and she's meeting with her neurologist with a virtual meeting today at 3:30 to find out how the sonograms went and all that. So we're looking forward to that meeting. But basically, what I want to do is what you're doing. So if you could just tell us what you're doing and take us through, then what I'll do is I'll just switch out, you know, your YouTube channel for my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Your Zoom meeting for I'll just kind of imitate you.
Okay. So give me, what equipment do you currently have? I'll say this, your sound comes through pretty good right now. So that's good. And your picture's pretty clear. So 2 good things right there.
Good. Well, I just have a little MacBook Pro, 13-inch laptop, and you know, it's got a video camera, and that's it basically. I'm just using the little photo booth video camera, and that's it. I'm just doing Zoom meetings like that, and John helped me to get started with Zoom. I have a paid account, and that's basically it. Now, you know, we do have extensive numbers of videos. In other words, we have about 230,000 views, 607 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So I can do little YouTube vignettes, and with your help, I can integrate them into the Zoom meeting. John said that you go into somebody's home and interview them, and then bring that into the meeting so that people can get a sense of, oh, the Joneses are doing okay, or whatever.
Yep. Have you done any music? Have you recorded any music yet?
Yeah, my wife is a musician, and we have a piano here, so the music she can do. Now, as far as recording, she does have a album that she's done, so she does have pre-recorded professional music.
Yeah, sorry, I meant over video. Have you done any music with like your Zoom meetings or services or anything like that?
As far as being an engineer to do the really neat stuff that you're doing, that goes beyond my ability.
Or have you tried?
No,
whether
I
it was good or bad
tried.
or otherwise.
I haven't tried,
Okay.
and I don't have a mixer. I don't have any equipment other than this
Yeah.
MacBook Pro.
So a couple of things. I'll give you. I pulled out some of my at home easy equipment. So depending on what you're using, your phone plus a little tripod can do wonders. This little tripod, the phone can give you just as good of quality as just about anything else.
Okay.
So don't be afraid to use your phone to record stuff on. It can give you good quality. This is what we record our services on. It is just that big. See it next to my face? So it's pretty tiny. It's called can you see that in there? It's backwards, of course. Mevo Plus is the name of the camera. And so this cost $400.
Okay.
So it's not terrible. We needed something a little bit bigger because spanning the stage with musicians and stuff like that is a bigger screen. And so that does it for us pretty well. It's so for what we've done, this has worked perfectly. It's not necessarily it's not TV show quality, but for what we're doing, it's good quality.
Now, Stephen, give me the picture here. You have your band, your music group, and yourself and the pastor, and you're all in an empty sanctuary, and you're on the stage, but there's no congregants there. And then you have this little camera. Now, where do you set it up?
We move it depending on what we're shooting. So we have it about 8-10 feet away from the band when we want to, because that's a much wider shot. If I'm just zooming in on you, I could have it as much as 3 feet away.
Okay.
So you could have it pretty close. So yeah, it just kind of depends on how many people that we have. The other thing I'll show you.
Are you sort of the cameraman in the empty sanctuary?
Sometimes we have a couple of other people who are helping with that. A couple other people in our church. This is my newest addition. It's called a Snowball Blue.
Mm-hmm.
It is a podcasting mic, $70, and it gets pretty crisp and clear sound, and it has multiple settings on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I could switch it. Like right now, it's a directional for one person speaking.
Right.
I could also switch it. There's a switch on the back. And it could be an omnidirectional where you use it for music. So it would pick up the piano, it would pick up vocals. So that's another.
How much that one costs?
$70.
Okay,
$70.
So
it's not crazy.
I have all the equipment I need basically. I've already got an iPhone.
Yep, exactly.
Do I get this through Amazon.com or how do I get this probably?
Mm-hmm. Yep, Amazon. Yep, and it's a, what did I say that it was? A Snowball. Snowball Blue is the one that I have, but
beautiful.
Just look at Snowball and you'll see different options.
Fantastic.
So equipment-wise, the other thing, I'm a Mac guy, so good job there. I like Macs. iMovie for all your videos. Just use iMovie. It's easy.
To edit, you mean?
Yep.
To edit and then upload to YouTube?
Yep.
And then once it's on YouTube, then you can integrate it however you want.
Exactly. Yep. I think iMovie is the easiest program to use for this sort of stuff.
Okay, I'm familiar with iMovie. I use it all the time.
Great. So yeah, so just keep using that. So as far as recording the actual footage, you can record on your iPhone, you could record on your computer like you're doing. You can use Zoom if you want to. That's another option. I'll do a little screen share here. So Zoom does have settings that you need to change if you're going to play music over it. Otherwise, it has this annoying function that tries to delete all the background noise, which if you're playing a piano or a guitar, you know what it considers background noise?
Yes.
The instrument.
Yes.
So it immediately makes it sound terrible, which is frustrating. But they do have settings that you can go to that's turn on. And I'm kind of popping this up for your recording for later so you can see this and search it.
Yeah. Which screen on, because Zoom has so many screens, which screen are we looking at? It's a help center, or what is this?
Yeah, this is, I just Googled it to find out, but it'll give you the, if you do just Google enabling option to preserve original sounds, like it says right here.
Okay.
On Zoom, it'll pop you up to this, and then it'll take you to the correct page based on all of these. And so you can set it. You already have the Pro, so you can do this. And it'll walk you through the settings that you need to have.
Now, I don't want to jump ahead, but let me just throw this in while we're in the Zoom Help Center. There is a way, and I've seen some of my colleagues doing this in Jewish ministry, and you probably know about this way, that you can use Zoom and integrate it with your Facebook page, so that, let's say you have 1,000 friends on Facebook, there is a way to let them know so that they then join your Massachusetts congregation, so to speak, for your next Sunday morning service. Now,
Yep.
You're familiar with that. I'm not. If you could just mention that at some point, maybe it's not right to talk about it right this second, but whenever.
Yeah, let me see if I can get it to pop up. Zoom, I don't know if you noticed this yesterday, but Zoom churches basically crashed Zoom for a while.
Yeah.
They couldn't take the bandwidth that they had yesterday, so I haven't tried to use it actually on this part of it since then. So I'm not. Let me see here. Let me see if it's going to let me log in. It wasn't. It was making it. It was being a little weird when I tried yesterday. We tried to have something after church, John, the virtual lobby, and
right.
it like did not like me. It did not like me at all. And then I kicked Joe Coley out permanently, I guess. I don't know what happened. So yeah. Okay, let's see if this does it. It's looking like it's just being weird. Okay, let's try it. Well, come on. Zoom, Facebook, live stream. This should pop it up, and then we can at least see it from the help desk side of it. But this is something you can do with the Pro, Phil. So you can do the Facebook. So yeah, streaming a meeting on Facebook Live right here in the Zoom Help Center again, and it'll walk you through how to set it up, how to connect it. You could do it to a page. You can do it to a group, whichever platform that you're wanting to.
Have you done this with your church yet?
I haven't done it from Zoom yet. What I've done for our Let me see. How do I stop the? I hid my. Oh well. What I've done for the interviews is I've recorded them on Zoom ahead of time, and then added them to the service. So basically, like I'm doing right now, I've recorded the conversation and then edited out anything that I wanted to edit out, and then I've put it on. I haven't done a live stream from Zoom.
So are you saying that from your Zoom account, there's a way to edit and integrate different clips?
Yep.
Okay. I think
well, not to edit.
that.
No, not to edit. But you can record it, and then it'll put it onto your computer or your iCloud or whatever you save stuff on.
Are you using iMovie to put it all together, or what do you do?
Yep.
Do it?
Yep. That's what I'm using for it. So yeah, that's how I've been doing it. I apologize that Zoom's not letting me log into their regular thing right now, but for some reason it's not liking that. So I'll look at, I have YouTube up here too. So you've used YouTube, you know, the YouTube Studio, all this sort of stuff. So this is, you just go to the create, upload it, all of that. We do our services as a premiere, which is one of the options when you upload it, versus live. So, but it kind of gives the same effect, the countdown, all that type of stuff. Doesn't show until you want it to show. So you kind of tell everybody to jump on. They can chat with you during the premiere, and engage that way.
Now, when you say premiere, yeah, I know what that means. YouTube does have a premiere where you let people know you're premiering your film or you're premiering your program. So what would help me is if you could just kind of talk as if it were last week and you were putting together yesterday's thing, and tell me, okay, we went over to the Joneses, we did this, so we made a little video, then we put it here, then we in other words, give me, as if you were a chef, how your recipe and how you put the dinner together that you served on Sunday morning at the service. Sure. That would really help me. Now, if you want to go about that in a different way, go ahead. But I have to sort of understand it from that point of view.
I'll do it this way. I'll turn the sound off on the video as it's playing because we don't need the extra noise. Oh, good. I already have it off. But I can kind of show you as I'll skip through it a little bit.
Sure.
Okay. Looks super not HD. Oh, yeah, that's why. Milk quality, I want you up. There you go. Okay, here we go. So basically we have a opening slideshow to let people get set, grab their coffee, get in their seats, whatever, jump on. And we do that it's just graphics. So it's whatever. You can put a countdown on it if you want, but we have it for 1 minute and 30 seconds to let people get settled. And then
how do you make that slideshow? What software are you using?
iMovie. You just put in different graphics or pictures.
Okay.
That's all you have to do. So you just put it in there and say 10 seconds, next one 10 seconds, next one 10 seconds, and
right.
Yeah, that's been very effective. The premiere has been very effective. It really helps people to get ready. It shows them that they're on the right channel and things are going to happen. So I like the premiere.
Yes. Now, right now, what I'm looking at is an uploaded recording of the whole integrated service that you had Sunday or yesterday?
A week ago, but yes. Yeah.
A week ago. And
Yep.
so now I'm seeing for the first 2 minutes or so, we got slides.
Yep. And it's just to let people get set. And then this is what we do. We've changed it each week. We just have, they're saying, welcome to Vineyard Hopkinton. We're glad you're here in some way, shape, or form. And the reason that we're doing that is because the part that I think we're all missing the most is seeing each other's faces. And so I want to have as many other faces other than just mine, Rob, and Sarah in it as possible.
Right.
And so
they're almost like the ushers greeting
Yep,
people.
exactly. Yeah, they're our welcome team. Yep, that's exactly it. And for some of them, I've gone to their house and shot it on their front porch. For others, they shoot it by themselves. So,
and what do they do then? Send it to you as an attached file?
Yep. So they actually, for short video, text is the easiest way to get it sent. For whatever reason, it takes the least amount of hassle because the file size is big. Email doesn't like big file sizes.
Okay.
Yeah, text is limited too. WhatsApp has a tremendous bandwidth for this. But anyway.
Yep, WhatsApp actually would be the best way to do it. But for a 30-second thing, it works. It's pretty easy. So then after that, we have a welcome to the service, a little like walk through.
Is this live? Is this part live?
Nothing's live. We don't do anything live.
Nothing is live. Nothing is live.
The
only thing that's live is the chat.
Yep, exactly. We don't do anything live because it cuts out all of the technology question marks, not having stuff live.
In other words, there's no room for error, so you're not going to be flubbing and the sound went off and the static and this and that, and so what you're doing is you're giving a broadcast quality product, and yet if they feel like, well, this is canned, no, there's a chat room that's going like crazy all the time.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. And we're on it chatting with, chatting, so to speak, saying hi to people, like asking for engagement. So there's definitely a live part to it.
Well, let me ask you something. Let's say Pastor Jones is preaching and he says, and I don't really believe in the perseverance of the saints or something, and they say, wait a minute, I'm a Calvinist. Do you get contradictory chat during the sermon where, no, we don't believe that, or why is he preaching heresy or something like that?
We talked about justice yesterday, and there was a little bit of that.
Yeah, funny you should bring that up.
We did have that happen yesterday. Yes, and the way that we've so far dealt with it is a push to have a conversation afterwards if it's super contradictory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people just get so much courage when they're not looking at somebody's eyes, right?
Right.
When they could just type whatever they want to type. So we push for it to go outside of it, because we do want people to be during the service. We want people to be engaged in the service. It's the same way as if you're here at the church. This isn't time for you to just have whatever conversation you want to have. That we can have that conversation afterwards. So we do try and keep people focused as much as possible on the service, and follow up afterwards, especially if there's an issue that they have. But yeah, for the most part, like Facebook, you'll get a little bit more, people will click like during a point if like, the sermon's hitting something for them, or if worship, they're really loving it, like
Right.
some of that floats up. YouTube's pretty cut and dry when it comes to the chat features. So here, I'll show you. So our worship, again, this is all single camera, and we are mixing it, which, because it's a band, that's just what we have to do. So we have it all flowing in. We have a more complex system than you'll have for what you're doing. But just to kind of show you what we're doing. So again, it's all single camera, zoom in, zoom out. That's on our stage. And we do, for us, our entire thing is about, how long? 55 minutes, I think, is what we've tried to keep it at, because people's attention spans when they're on their computer is much shorter than if they're sitting in front of you. So we've tried to limit that a little bit.
Stephen, could you cut to the chase as far as talking about the offering? Where does the offering take place, and how do you actually receive the funds?
Well, we receive the funds. It's all online for the most part. That's the only, you can't pass a basket right now. So people can either mail it in, or they can go to our website and give.
Do you have a screen there where you give the URL of how they can give on PayPal or whatever it is?
Let me see. Yep. It's in our opening. So you have it right here. You go to our website /giving.
Do you flash this a couple of times during your service? So that just once?
We have it here in the beginning. Let me see.
Maybe at the end, beginning and end? Or
at the end, we do sometimes. We're not John can tell you, he's been here longer than I have, but we are not a ask for money heavy church.
Yeah. You're not beating them over the head.
We're pretty light with it. We don't pass a basket on Sunday. And so we've tried to keep that same feel online. So we've asked in light ways a couple, in our services, but we don't have a point in our service where we are specifically passing the online basket, so to speak.
Now, Stephen, this whole thing is done with iMovie.
You should do it with iMovie. We use a different program because that's the one that the guy who's editing for us is comfortable with.
Okay.
But if you know how to use iMovie, use iMovie. It works the exact same way. He just has a Windows-based, and so he likes using it on that.
And you're saying that with YouTube, when you upload a video to YouTube, let's say you put together next Sunday's service and you've got it already uploaded to YouTube. It's already there. It's up there by Saturday night at 12 midnight or whatever.
Yeah.
Then how do you then broadcast that as far as Zoom is concerned, or as far as we're starting the service at 11 a.m. on Sunday morning? How do you do that?
How do we get that information out to
people? In other words, you've got it canned. It's a canned Sunday service. It's already uploaded to YouTube. It's what I'm looking at right now, let's say. But now you want to broadcast this to Zoom. You want to broadcast this on a Sunday morning. So how does that actually happen? I just need to wrap my mind around that.
Can you explain what you mean? Like have people know that it's out there, or do you mean show it on another platform?
Like right now, you have given me a link, and I have come to you via Zoom. if I were a congregant on Sunday morning coming to you to get your service, you would be not just there, but you would have your whole YouTube pre-recorded service. You would be giving me not just what you're giving me right now, but the whole YouTube pre-recorded service. Is that correct? Is that right? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. So what
okay,
we
so
do,
how do you, I mean, you don't just put your camera in front of the YouTube screen. How do you do that?
people watch it on their own computers or TVs at home. So
But
we don't.
but they're doing it via a link that you're sending them, or that they're aware that they get, or in other words, you
Yes,
gave me a link so that I could come to Zoom with you.
right. So
What are
we
you
don't
giving them on Sunday morning?
we don't do anything with Zoom on Sunday morning. So we're not showing anything on Zoom on Sunday morning. People are watching either YouTube or Facebook, and chatting with us on YouTube or Facebook.
Okay, so in other words, what you do, let's say you have a mailing list of 300 emails, and Nan and John are one of your emails.
Right.
So you're sending them on a Sunday night, a Saturday night, or early Sunday morning, an email, and then on this email, you're giving them the URL of the YouTube or the. I mean, tell me. I mean, finish the sentence for me.
So what we've told people to do is to subscribe to our YouTube channel,
Right.
and or if they want to watch it on Facebook, that's fine. Like us on Facebook, and then we do it at the same time every Sunday. So 10 a.m. on Sunday, it's up there. We don't need to send them a specific link, because if they go to our YouTube channel or to Facebook, they will see the premiere, and that's how they find it.
Okay.
What we do is on what we've been doing since we've went online is every week we do a weekly all church email. And so we do remind people that the video will be up. And then we give them the link for our channel on YouTube and our page on Facebook for them to go to.
Now, Steve, you know what would really help me? If you imagine that I'm John Gargan's neighbor, and John has talked to me about the Lord, and now I'm a prospect. So you have my email. So send me what you would send me if I were John Gargan's neighbor, so that I would then be, I would have the links both to YouTube to subscribe, and also to the Facebook page.
Let me do one thing here real quick. I can forward this to you right now. I'll show you our all church email that we send out, and we change it, based off what's going on in the church, but you'll see our links for that. So let me send it to you, and then I'll also screen share it so you can see what it looks like as well. So I'll give you two ways. What we use for this is MailChimp.
Yes, I use that.
So we just use MailChimp. Populate that. For the most part, though, what we tell people to do with that is to just simply search for our channel or our page on Facebook. It's kind of the easiest way. So here's our MailChimp that we sent on Saturday at noon. We did this after church. And then let's see. Here we go. So worship at home. 2 ways to join. 10 a.m. on Facebook. Look for the premiere. 10 a.m. on YouTube. Look for the premiere. And use the buttons. Click on the button right there for YouTube. Oh, let me plug in my computer. It's dying on me. And it will take them to our channel. There we go. Okay. So then it takes you straight there, and that's what we got.
In other words, when you get your MailChimp email, you click on one of those two buttons.
Yep.
And it will take you right where you need to be for Sunday morning.
Yep.
Now, what if I'm one of these guys that I'm kind of distracted and man, it's 10 after 11 and I'm watering the flowers. How do you tap me on the shoulder? Hey, the service is starting. I guess you don't really have a way to do that, right?
Nope. Yep. There's no way. I mean, so we leave up our service. We don't take it down. Some churches take it down, and that's fine. That's up to them. We leave it up so that people can watch it whenever. We would like people to watch it when we're at 10 a.m. on Sunday, because that's when we go to church, and it's a good habit to stay in. But we leave it up so that people can watch it whenever they want to, or they could rewatch it. Some people watch it multiple times. Awesome, great. So yeah.
Now, Steve, when you get into Facebook, there's so many screens and so many things to click on that after a while you can't see the forest for the trees. Could you actually send me pgoble@gmail.com as if I was John Gargan's neighbor, so that I will actually click on those buttons and actually see where your Facebook page is? Because I have a Facebook page, but as far as actually using it the way you're using it, I'm still a novice. I don't know how to do that.
Yep. And I sent you that email already. I just sent it
Good.
to you. So
Good.
So you'll have that and you can click on it. And whether or not you use Facebook is your own choice. I mean, really, I think YouTube is the best for what you're talking about, for watching a service. YouTube is the best platform. Facebook is good for sharing with people. So maybe you just have the link to your YouTube page. That's your Facebook post instead of posting the whole video on there. That could work just as well. It's a little easier from a uploading standpoint.
Right.
So that's your preference, how many places you want to have it up.
So Steve, have you seen the number of YouTube subscribers increase over this pandemic period, where you are starting to penetrate the community a little better, and people are joining?
Yeah.
So the added subscribers is an indication that somebody out there is watching.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep. And that has happened. So that's great. That's awesome. That's what we're going for.
And also, you do have overhead. You got to pay your insurance and your staff salaries and all that. So you are seeing that people are using, is it PayPal, or what are they using to support the ministry?
Yeah, they're using our online giving. People switched over. It took about 3 weeks for people to switch over, but now they've switched over and are using it pretty easily. Some people just schedule it with their through online banking.
Right.
Other people are giving through Stripe is who we use, because it's a bigger subject, but we have a database system called Planning Center that we use, and Stripe is who they use. So that's why we go with them. PayPal works the same.
Great. That's great. Well, Steve, you've really helped me. I really appreciate it. The only thing is, we have been uploading all these videos, literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos, but I have never actually had a chat thing going with YouTube. So could you just tell me how that happens? Maybe I need to
Yep.
have the premiere version of YouTube or what?
Yes. You need to have it as a premiere to have the chat. I'll show you what it looks like. So if you do it as a premiere, because then it puts it with live chat is one of the options. So let me see here. I'll show you on the service that we were looking at. Show chat replay. This would look just a tiny bit different if we were live, but I'll show you what it looks like at the top. I don't know why my computer, come on. Oh, it's because I have a, let's do it this, here, let's move down, hit play. Then maybe, yeah, there we go. Okay, got to hit play, and then it all populates.
Okay, so they can actually look at the chat as well as the service.
Yep. So you can have both up at the same time. Some people only have the service up.
Now,
it just kind of
you
depends.
said that somebody had a problem with the pastor's message on justice. Do you try to edit that out, or you just leave it there, or do you? What do you do?
So what we did yesterday during the service is we left it up. I didn't respond to it. And then after the service, I just didn't feel like it was a helpful dialogue.
Right.
The things that were being said were not helpful.
Right.
They weren't really done in the best way.
Right.
And so one thing that you can do if your live chat afterwards, you're like, that just wasn't a helpful thing, and I want to keep my video up, but I don't think that other people necessarily need to go back and rehash that person's issue.
Right.
You can go into, let me see, where is it?
While Stephen's doing that, the good thing about yesterday was someone in our congregation countered that person and said, you need to stop this and leave this for later to discuss with the preacher. So someone intervened, and I thought it worked really well that way.
Good, because otherwise it was like you had two preachers going on. One was preaching anti on chat, and the other one was preaching in the pulpit.
You see, now, I didn't know who this man was, and the thing that you would want to do is someone who knows that person should be the one who counters him. So apparently the person who countered him knew him, I guess.
Okay.
So that they had a relationship. So it shut the other guy down, and he did not say another word after that. So
okay, good. That's good.
That was part of why I, as the person, I was the one preaching, but I wasn't live because it's recorded. So I was also the one moderating the chat. And that's part of why I didn't actually respond to it as he was going off, because I didn't want it to turn into a preacher against preacher, so to speak, debate. I just don't think that that's
now, Stephen, you know that Zoom has upgraded its security, so you have to have passwords and everything to keep these malcontents out of your Zoom room. But with YouTube, actually anybody who has the Google wherewithal to find you can actually become the heckler in the service.
Which is why, if you're going to have the live chat function up, you need to be moderating.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise, that's why we're on there moderating. So if you see, here's the service, click on the details. I'll show you how to make it disappear afterwards, or how to make it appear during, however you want to do with the live chat function. So video details, just go to more options.
Right.
And There it is. Okay. Allow all comments. You could change that if you wanted to. Hide, hold potentially inappropriate, etc. And live chat to replay. So if afterwards you're like, that wasn't a helpful dialogue, I'm going to just take it off. You click that button and it makes the live chat go away. It was still there during the service, but after the service, it's gone. And so that's the way that you can make it. You can also block people if they're heckling during the service. So you can do that.
Hey, Phil.
So.
Yeah. Oh, Chloe.
Uh-oh, lost you.
Oh, I better. Yeah, let me tell Stephen that. Yeah.
I see him. I see he's
Hey,
gone.
Stephen, Phil's computer just froze like mine did, so he's not getting it right now. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about if
I had to stop Zoom and re-go back in to get it to work again. But are you?
I do need to go pretty soon, John.
Are you okay, Phil? You got everything you need? Yeah. Okay, Stephen, he really appreciates it. He got everything he needs, and really, it's a great job.
Okay, cool.